Hello, everyone. Semi-retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. Today, I have a very special guest. Eric is here, and he's going to tell us about his carnivore journey. So, Eric, why don't you start off by telling us how you happened to come upon the carnivore diet?
Okay, well, um, how I came to it was that because I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis back in 2012, and I had a very, very rough journey for at least 10 years. And in 2021, I thought of dealing with, I don't know what they call it in the US, but here they call it MAID, which is medically assisted in death. And then at the end of 2021, I stumbled into Dr. Barry's YouTube channel, and I went from there. A few months later, I started carnivore and eating more meat, eggs, bacon, butter. Excuse me. And and then since then, it's been what, 2 years now? A little bit more than 2 years, and I went from
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and tell us all of your progress that you've made on the carnivore diet. What kind of things have happened to you?
okay. I until I started the carnivore eating more meat. Just I don't call it diet because I'm never, ever, ever hungry. Hungry, I eat, and sometimes I forget to eat because I'm never hungry. So, anyways, my where your joints connect, your leg connects to your joint. I think there's like a socket, and for the last 10 years, prior to starting eating better the carnivore way, I thought my sockets were going to explode. It was, I was in so much pain. That's why I was looking at May at the end of 2021. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. So, anyways, that's the first thing that started to alleviate, uh, reduce the pain. One other thing was brain fog, which I didn't even know I had brain fog. But once it was gone, I realized that I had brain fog since I'm a child. Um, the weight, it just flew off, and I couldn't do any exercises. And I lost 52 pounds in 6 months, which was crazy. And I was happy, but I wasn't doing it for that. But I was like, okay, that was automatic. Um, my right leg used to get all puffy. I think I had liquids in there or whatever. That totally went away. Um, so many things just went better, and then I always find something new. I'm like, oh, I used to have that, now I don't, and it's awesome.
Okay, for my viewers that don't know what MS is, can you go ahead and tell us briefly what is MS and then how has your life changed? Has it gotten better since you started the carnivore diet? Why don't you go ahead and talk about that for a little bit?
When I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, MS, and then a year later they updated. They said which kind of MS I had because there's like four types. The one I've got is the relapsing remittent multiple sclerosis, or RRMS. And at the time, I was a general contractor in 2012, and I had to shift or close the business. And then I went into stock trading, which was easier, but I had to learn all that stuff, which I was surprised I could because my brain was not the best. Um, yeah, it totally flipped everything. And and in those 10 years, I tried paleo diet, which was, oh, Terry, what's her last name? The doctor there. She has MS. Well, still has MS, but she was in a zero gravity chair, and she went paleo, which is the hunter's gathering. But in my case, it had too many vegetables, but I didn't know then. It's when I did the carnivore. I'm like, aha, The vegetables were the problem. That's why paleo didn't work for me. So eliminated all that stuff. And will I ever go back to garbage? No. Sorry, the sad diet. Never, ever again. Am I tempted by stuff sometimes? Yeah. Like the thing, my biggest thing too. I in my case, but I guess in many people's case, you go for a number two for a poop. I used to go to the toilet before this diet at least 2, 3 times a day for number two, at least. When I was younger, I would go 5, 6 times a day, just to show you how bad my diet was when I was a child. And now it takes days. And then lately, I just went a few days ago and had been 16 days. And I panicked and I took some raisin bread and some, like an inch of butter on top, and it helped me go. But I shouldn't have panicked. I should have just let it go because my stomach was not hurting, no fever, no symptoms of nothing. It's just me panicking. And I said, okay, I know raisin bread goes right through me. So I use it as a laxative, you could say. And it worked. And at least I'm not stressing. So next time I know if I go 15 days, 20 days, it's just me. Is it normal? I don't think so. But was I sick from it? Absolutely not. I was totally fine.
Your MS is, I'm assuming you still have MS because I'm not sure that's something that can actually be cured by the carnivore way of eating. But have you found that everything associated with that has gotten better for you? I mean, what types of things couldn't you do before other than just your general contracting work?
Well, I couldn't think properly. Um, I couldn't move. I couldn't transport materials. Um, my head wasn't all there. My body was killing me. It was so painful. Um, couldn't take care of my kids properly, like carrying them or anything. Trouble driving. Since then, all that has gone. I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk more than 4 or 5 steps. And everything is okay. It's all good. I'm way stronger too than like 2 or 3 years ago. And the only thing missing that I'm working on right now is I'm learning to walk again, and I need to coordinate my gait, and I'm getting there. And then, yeah, that's the only thing that I'm working on. I'm working on neuroplasticity. And I found something this morning on the No Carb Life. They had a guest, and she talked about a vibrating plate, like um, what is his name? Bill. Is it Bill Knott in Alaska or something? He's using a bigger one because he's a heavier guy. But she said, no, there's one that's a couple $100, and I'm gonna order that one tomorrow, and hopefully it's gonna help me shake things up a little bit. And that's my last thing, walking. Because my mind is clear. I'm sharp as a tack as I've never been in my entire life. And I'm weighing what I was weighing at the age of 16. I'm 80 kilos, 176 pounds. So yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. My viewers will never forgive me if I don't ask, what is a normal day of eating for Eric look like?
I put 2 pounds of meat in my crock pot. I cook it for a few hours. Sorry, I take the dog out. I put the meat in my crock pot. I come back in. I go back up. I take her out again. Maybe 3 hours later, I turn my crock pot off. I come back up, lay down, watch a few YouTubes like yourself, and uh, Bakerberry, Chafee, kilts, and the works. And then I go back down and I eat the meat that's like not super hot, just perfect. I ate If I finish it that day, I finish it. If I don't, keep it for the next day. No worries. I have waste absolutely nothing. Nothing. And meat always tastes delicious. Add salt, drink water. I'm happy.
Excellent. So you're doing just one meal a day then. You just eat your crock pot full of meat every day and that's where you go. Excellent. So do you find that shopping for groceries is so much easier now that you're only buying meat?
Uh, I just deal with a butcher. That's it.
Before I let you go, before we wrap things up here, do you have social media? Are you on YouTube yourself?
No, I thought of it, and then I'm thinking, oh my God, there's so many great people like yourself, that have great content. And I'm like, no, no, I'm not gonna crowd it. I'm just gonna share my experience to whoever wants to listen. But now, if you don't mind sharing my email, there's one thing I just wanted to add. Excuse me.
Mhm.
At one point, I wasn't sure about fasting, and then I decided to do a 36 to 40 hour fast to reset my body, and I do it I try to do it every Saturday, like a 36 to 40 hour fast. And I found out that they call that a monk fasting, like religious monk, and it resets your body. Every week I make sure I reset my body. And for me, it has accelerated everything.
Okay, and now this is the point where I say, Eric, the floor is yours. If there's anything I've forgotten to ask you or anything in particular that you want to say to my crowd that I haven't talked to you about, take as much time as you like and just tell people what you want them to know about yourself, the carnivore diet, MS, anything you want to talk about. Go ahead.
Okay, back in 2000 or 1999, was working in insurance, and this was this guy that he fell upon the Atkins diet, and his name is Craig Ischuk. I said, "What are you doing, Craig?" He says, "I eat fat and protein." And I'm thinking, "Oh my God!" I was married at the time, and the wife's like, "That's crazy. You need carbs. You need freaking carbs." No, you don't. But you know, so yeah, it's I didn't know. I went the zone, and I went zone bars and all that crap that goes with it. And I felt good for a while, for 2, 3 years. I was jacked. I was like, oh, and then boop, 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 it just went down. So now that he was a doctor and I should have listened, I had the right thing. I would have never had MS had I, because MS is a metabolic disease and it's food driven. As I listened to 10, 20 people that has MS, and many of them got away from it. I'm more prone to getting it. That's why I got it. But it's the food. Like me, prioritize zero stress and drama, sleep, which I sleep like a baby. It's insane. I don't even like to have a pillow. I just like, and I take, and then the diet, some movement. You don't have to jump around like a deer or whatever. Um, I find seeing the sun every day or the light, going outside and just seeing it, like what's his name? Gary of Homestead House. He likes to ground himself. I find that's very important. Cold therapy. I followed Wim Hof for a while. Didn't have the means to buy an ice bath, but what I like about him, everything is free. Everybody I talk about is they're all free. You're free to pick their ideas, and pardon. Um, what I do is a cold shower or cold air. You know, I was beside a lake for a few years. I would go in the lake in the summer, obviously. In the winter was ice, but I I find the cold just rejuvenates us, and that's why as a people, we've been following the snow belt all the time. People say, "Oh, where you live in Canada?" Because we follow the snow belt. Why? Because in the winter kills all germs. It resets the whole thing. So I try to follow it.
Okay, well, I want to thank you for being here today, Eric. And if you don't mind, about right here, I'll put your email address up underneath your picture in the video so that people can get in contact you if they have any questions about MS or any other questions for you. But everybody, don't forget, go down in the comments and thank Eric for his time today, because everybody's time is important. And don't forget, get out there, be 1% better today, folks. Today, tomorrow, every day. Have a great day, folks. We'll see you in the next one.